Um, I want to do a let's interpretation time. This is a fairy tale collection. It's also like folk tales and stuff. It's called Celtic Tales, and there are lots of stories from Wales and Ireland and Scotland and Brittany, and they're old. And one of the stories, I love interpreting literature or symbols and stuff like that when it comes to me. Sometimes I force interpretations, but sometimes they just kind of happen. You just clicks and you're like, oh, fridge brilliance, and that's what happened with one of these stories. So I think it's fun to talk about these sorts of things. So the story, it's called the Clumsy Beauty and Her Aunts. And it's a story about this beautiful young woman who has no skill at the spinning wheel, and her mom is worried about her being able to get hitched because the mom's thinking, like, in this sexual market, young women can't just be beautiful, they gotta know how to spin a wheel if they're gonna get the right kind of man. So the mom's fretting about this because her daughter can't do it. And one day Prince shows up, and the mom's never gonna have an opportunity like this again. I mean, it's the royal family is just coming to town. This is this is a big deal. There's nothing higher than the royal family, the monarchy. And the mom's worried about a good husband. There could be no, generally speaking, there's not ever going to be a future prospect that is a prospect for a future that's better than the royal family, like the prince. Because that would mean your daughter doesn't just become like, you know, an elevated peasant. Your daughter becomes actually a queen. So she lies, the mom. She tells the prince when she sees him about how good her daughter is at the spinning wheel and how she just works so hard and how much she can do. And she convinces the prince that her daughter is someone that she's not. I mean, does he really care? But he knows that she's got to pass the test of his mom. I guess it's like maybe it was a tradition of the time, but she has got to get the approval of the queen before they can get married. So the prince brings this poor fool into the presence of his mother and tells his mother about all the skills that she has. Her mom hears these legends. If you ever played like telephone, you know that the original sentence doesn't sound maybe quite as much like it did in the beginning. So I imagine after the prince, the mom had like a just straight up legendary view of what the scroll's skills were, and so she wants her to prove it. Prove that you are worthy to enter into the royal family by doing this impossible task. And she gives her 3 pounds of flask and expects her to spin it and have it all spun by morning. And the princess, I called her a princess, this peasant girl, hair or something, whatever. This peasant girl is like she's so enamored with the prince that she forgets to ever tell anybody the truth. And so she gets down to it. It's a moment of here, whether or not she can continue to be in this, living this blissful dream is on the line. She starts to cry because she can't do it. She always breaks the string. And an old lady miraculously appears or something like that. She shows up. Just so happens to be walking down the hall. And the old lady's got big feet. And she tells the peasant girl, the potential future queen, I can do this work for you to get you the approval of the queen, but you have to invite me to your wedding. And the young girl was like, yes, I will honor you for the rest of my life. And so the old lady was good on her word. She did because the skill was like, it was like artisan level skill. So the old lady was able to do that. Or she did it. And then this happens, the queen's impressed, and she issues out 2 more challenges, and there's 2 more old ladies. She's got the first old lady's got big feet. Second old lady's got wide hips, and then the last old lady, she's got a big nose, and the same deal is struck every time. They do something for her that she cannot do for herself if she will invite them to her wedding. And wedding day comes. They're having a good time, and then guard comes up to the now bride. It says, "There's an old lady here with a ridiculous name that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Lest I shame my ancestors. This old lady has come to the door. She claims to be your aunt." And the peasant girl, now bride, is like worried about this because the queen, she's the queen. She's a critic. She's like the highest class. She's the judge. She's worried about the judge because these old women are not, they're the lowest of the low. But she says that she does know the old lady, that she is her aunt. She comes to the wedding. And of course the queen, she's critical. She looks at the old lady's feet. It's like, "Why are your feet so big?" And the old lady says, "Because I worked at the spinning wheel all of my life. My feet got big." And the prince hears this, and he like, his eyes widen, I imagine. He's like, "Let's see here." His gerbil start to spit. He's like, "This old lady worked at the wheel, and over time she got really ugly feet. My young wife can work at the wheel. She's very good at it, but she will end up with good feet." And any red-blooded male, he chose to have a prettier wife. So he comes up with this law where he's like, "You will never work at the spinning wheel ever again." And I'm sure like the princess is like, like huge weight off her chest because she couldn't do it in the first place. And then this happens 3 more times to the other 3 old ladies. Like, "Why are your hips so big?" You can just see as soon as the prince hears about why she was sitting too much, you just see the prince is like you will never sit that long ever. I forbid it. And then the nose thing, the old lady was like staring down while she was sewing shirts, and blood rushed to her nose. Prince is like, "My wife's pretty face is that's never gonna happen to her." And so he declares a new law. Okay. And then they live happily ever after the end. Okay, so those are the details. I gotta get on this interpretation business. Okay, so interpretation. I'm seeing all of this. Like I said, these symbols just fit into paradigms that I have. They just slipped in. I'm not saying that this is. I guess I am claiming that this is the truth, but I just know that in the world of interpretation of symbols, just as like it's like the literary game, that there are many interpretations. It's like a game. It's like a separate set of rules, even though it does overlap with reality and truth. I'm just saying that's how I'm seeing it, at least at this moment. So symbolic interpretation fits in. Think about it, like this girl there's a deceiver, puts this girl in a bind. She's got an impossible test. There's a judge that expects her to do an impossible thing. This girl cannot do that impossible thing. She has to have someone else do it for her. And that person does it for her, but at the price of her doing something for that person. And that is that she shows that she invites her to the wedding, right? She's showing what she's doing is she's showing that she's not publicly ashamed of this old woman's status. This old woman did it for her. She's honoring her word, right? But she's also honoring the old woman's work. What's going on is that you have if you have like the monarchy is like symbolic of the divine. I mean, oftentimes there are many occasions I'm sure where it is, but it's very easy to symbolize. It happens in the Bible. Jesus is called the King of Kings, but he's also referred to as God, right? So monarchy, theocracy. That's not what I'm talking about. Theology. So she has a test. She has to keep Torah, basically, and she can't do it. Keeping Torah is what gives you the right to stand before God. Keeping the law of Moses, right? These do's and don'ts. That's what gives you a right. That's what proves that, to the queen, that was what was going to prove this girl had the stuff to be royalty. There's something about her that stood out. There was nothing that stood out about her that stood out. And so the old, at least in this case, she couldn't prove that she had this ability that she doesn't have. But she was given a new test. One was swapped, and her new test is show that she's not ashamed of the one who worked for her. That when the time comes, she will invite her to the wedding. Right? So it's this was done for me, and I'm expected to say, yeah, this was done for me. If the young woman had not said that she knew the old ladies who were claiming to be aunts, like, these aren't my aunts, what would have happened to her? She would have been shown that she was a fraud. But the old ladies show up. She testifies, yes, I know them. They're my aunts. She's scared though, but she does it. When she does it, she is then freed of she is then freed of those expectations forever. So you have like these mini tests and like a final test. It's like all these like little smaller blessings leading up to like a final blessing. Like smaller scale miracles leading up to final miracle. And I have a hard time not seeing these old ladies. Even the work of these old ladies is symbolic of the cross. I mean, like Jesus' old people reject. You hear like preachers and pastors, and they must listen to each other a lot because they all say a lot of the same things when they get going. But I mean, I guess that's just the history of the church, anyways. I mean, there's certain key points, so it's easy to be repetitive, I guess, but tangents. Where's I going with this? Old ladies, they're lowly. Isaiah 53 says, I'm not going to quote it, because I forgot, but I think it's the third verse, and it says something like that there's nothing about the one that's coming. If you're Jewish, you probably interpret Isaiah 53 to be referring to Israel. But if you are a Christian, then you see that this is prophecy about Lord's anointed. And if you're a Christian, you also interpret the anointed to be a specific person. Then you will see that the third verse says that there's really nothing about this guy that stands out. Like he's just average. He blends in with the crowd. If he wasn't speaking and acting, he would look like everyone else, like a construction worker, or something like that. And specifically in the case of the cross, he was beat, humiliated, people were laughing at him, and he would look like a bloody pulp. This guy that was once talking with such authority is now like suffocating on his own blood. And not that many of the people who claim to be his followers are there. Like one of his best friends denied him 3 times. And now that he's taking on sin for the first time, because he is third person of the Godhead, this is the first time he's ever experiencing separation from the Father. And there may be some theological debate on that issue, but I mean, I think that point really stands out a lot. This is a serious. The cross is just really ugly, and I mean, I guess these old and big feet, and it's pretty. Try explaining that one. I imagine this old lady had like abnormal. Like if you were to draw this, she'd have big, like huge feet, boats. But the young lady did show that she was not ashamed of the lowliness of this person. And because of that, this young woman was then freed. She entered into the next stage of the blessing. So I've got like less than a minute before I have to stop this. It's not easy. Getting it all, everything I want to say like in a certain time frame. Do you see the symbology? Jesus Christ is the prince. Jesus Christ is, his father is like the queen, the judge. He is also the old woman who does the work. Think about that. He fulfills all the different roles. And he has taken a task that you cannot do. He's done it for you. But he has given you a task that you can do. And if you do it, then you will receive his final blessing. That's how I interpret this story.